Howdy, folks. It's Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness. It's the middle of the evening, and we are unboxing Korsun Pocket 2, subtitled A Little Stalingrad on the Dnieper. This is by designer Jack Radey. This is the second edition. It was originally published by People's War Game. This one is published by Pacific Rim Publishing. This has been a long time coming. It's still available. Discount pre-order price at 25% out, quote unquote pre-order. If you know the code, it's available out there. Search social media, you can find. I think that is good through beginning of April, end of April, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. As usual, I have done some slitting of the shrink to aid this endeavor. There we go. All right, get that up closer there. Look at the artwork without the glare. All right, let's take a look at the back of the box. All right, so I'm going to zoom in a bit here. This is a pretty old school, old style map graphics. Nothing fancy. I believe it's pretty close to the original, 90%-ish. I do believe, I remember the colors being a little more vibrant on the original map. The forests and rivers stood out pretty well. We'll see. I wasn't able to find my original copy. It's around here somewhere, but as many of you know, my games are mostly still in totes, boxes, and stuff in the garage. We're still working on sorting through all that. So this is the encirclement in Ukraine in the Eastern Front in 1944. It's called Korsun Pocket. It was also called the Cherkasky Pocket, depending on which side of the war that you were on. So let's go ahead and open this up so we can see the maps and the other goodies. Now, you'll notice here on the side, there was an extra play aid. I heard that there's supposed to be two in the box. Only one got in there when the printer put everything together. So they just added an extra one as they shipped. So I'm going to zoom back out a little bit to get a look here. This is a very glossy, as you can see from that shine coming off of there. The font is very nice and big, which for my aging eyes, that is much appreciated. So this is a very thick rule book, but it's only, that's page 28. They're counting them together. Yeah, so it's 28 pages total, but it feels like a 64 pager. Very nice thick paper. Nice size ones. Now, as we're flipping through here, I don't see many diagrams, many pictures. There's an icon. What, artillery columns? Here's some more unit icons there. Let me zoom in here. So these are similar to NATO symbols, but I believe that some of them are closer to what was used at the time. Well, you know, vast majority look very much like NATO symbols, so I don't know. I have to find out more about that. All right, so now given that there's not a picture, there's not much diagrams here. I'm hoping that there is going to be, and yes, well, let's see, it's a scenarios book. Let's see if there are some examples of play in here. Now, this is also very glossy. It's 32. So the scenario book is 32 pages, bigger than the rule book. So that's nice. There's Jack Radey. So that means there's going to be a lot of scenarios. And it looks like there's historical notes, notes for the players, notes from the designer. Wow, there's a lot of More historical notes. Here's some examples of play. They're no actual diagrams, very textual. If you're an old school wargamer, you should have no problem with this. If you're used to having big spell it out pictures, it might take you a little more time to digest. So 8 scenarios, one of which is a campaign game. So 7 scenarios and 1 campaign. That's pretty good for a big game of this size to have lots of play for your money. You know, you can get your money's worth out of it really easy. All right, so now I'm just looking at a map here, but this is a situation map. This is not a gameplay map. You can see borders between armies or corps. So it's showing, probably as an aid to setup, I'm going to assume. Scenarios will probably say, use the situation map for February 1st and, you know, set up in the areas shown by the situation map with an X number of hexes of etc. So I like this a lot, just for browsing, for historical purposes, for learning. This is really cool. And this is on a really interesting, it's kind of like a vinylish paper. It's thicker than paper. It's not as heavy as like a thick cardstock. But this is really nice. I think this will survive wear a lot. Probably be easy to get. If you get something on it, you can probably, I mean, obviously if you soak it with Coke or something like that, you know, Mountain Dew, you might ruin it. So another situation map. All right, so how many situations? So this first one looked like it was double-sided. It is. And this one is also double-sided, but it is not filled in. So you could use this to make your own scenarios or to update, you know, your game. You could keep like a documentation of your game. That would be a lot of fun, right? The weekly situation map or something. Yeah, I don't know how long each game turn is. Did that say near the beginning of the rule book? Sometimes that's right up front. Not initially, might not be easy to see it. Each day is divided into 3 turns. Wow. Okay, so it's 8-hour turns. An AM turn, a PM turn. So a 5-hour AM turn, a 5-hour PM turn, and a 14-hour night turn, which may include an additional night turn. Interesting. So you can actually squeeze 3 or 4 turns into each day. Wow. All right. All right, all right, here is a real map. It's actually got some, I do not remember pictures and such being on the originals. All right. So, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. This is definitely different. It's not identical to the graphics of the original. It's very, very similar look and feel. I think the font and the printing is much crisper. I think almost was a hand-drawn quality to the original map, more for things like place names and things like that. Yeah, definitely the colors were much more vibrant, especially the green forests. Yeah, I wish I could have pulled that out so we could show them side by side. I'll do it in the future if I can get a chance to update, like when I actually maybe get this out, play a scenario, and compare against the original map. Okay, so up there. Zoom in more. We've got turn track with, wait, is that a turn track? That looks like some mud versus cold tracking, some kind of how many consecutive turns of cold or mud. It's a weather tracking system. Interesting. Variable weather table. All right, so let's look and see. I can't remember if there's formats. All right, I'm folding it funky. Don't fold it too funky. All right, here's another map. Zoom back out for you guys. All right, so there's Kanev. It's in the upper river. Map by Joy Cone. All right, come on. Cooperate. I'm gonna hold this up so we can zoom around a little bit here. Map A, it says. All right. Interesting. All right, let's go on to the next one. Looking for, is there anything particularly interesting on a map or not? So I think some people are, it's in the middle of winter, right? So the bright white map, you know, it's wintertime. Increases the contrast. Some people might not like that. It does take a little more getting used to on the eye. And if it was some tannish, beigeish ecru or something. All right, let's zoom in a little bit and take a tour. Medvin, Morenzi, looking for towns of particular note. Zvenegorodka. Just pronounce like that. It's easier for me to pronounce a lot of these if there's actually in Cyrillic, so I can read that. And sometimes when they do transliterations, it's like, what? These look pretty good in terms of my eyes and my ears figuring out what it should sound like. All right. And I think this is only 4 maps. I believe. All right, so here we go. Korsun pocket. Spola. You gotta run those together. So either my eyes are bad or I didn't look enough. I did not find Korsun or Cherkasy. That's up near the river, the big river there. It was probably on that first map, but I didn't look carefully enough. All right. Let's keep going. We'll keep looking at the very end. We'll take a peek back at that first map. All right. Wow, this is a thick box, and we're just at the surface here. These are like little, cut them out, fold them on the dotted lines, tape them or glue them on the tab. So let's see here, that's a way to show the current state of the weather, the time of day, the visibility, etc. I would probably photocopy that onto, or something, just to protect the original. All right, so now we got various extra charts, movement types. So a lot of the symbols and stuff in more detail I was hoping to see the rules are on the cards. So that's fine. Like this one's even got the case reference, movement types 5.1 for where you can see in the rules where that is. Here is the player aid that the next one was here. Oh wow. Little order of battle charts for org, for Air Forces, the units, 1st Panzer Corps, well no, it was 1st Panzer Army, 7th Corps, actually that's be 42, 42nd Corps, right? L is 50, right? Subtract the 10 in the middle, 42 I believe, right? If I'm wrong, tell me. So 2nd Front, 52nd Army, 8th Army, 11th Corps. Wow, there's a lot of these. Holy moly. So, wow. Yeah, where are you going to put all these? Oh boy. Gonna need a lot of tabletop and or a lot of wall space. They're double-sided, which tells me you only need them during setup or as you're getting reinforcements, or I don't think you would use these to keep track of like casualties or supplies or anything, or because if you got, you know, double-sided, that's not going to work. Well, they're not all double-sided. Maybe that one was like a unit, like in 2 different scenarios or something. 4th Guards, 25th January scenarios. First, okay, so there. So this guy, you know, different scenarios. All right. Okay, I'm not losing my mind totally yet. Meandering Mike, Man Cave of Madness. Oh, here is the turn record track. 25 January through 17 February. The AM, the PM, the night, the possible extra night turn. Looks like all the default weather. Oh, look at this. You can see mud, deep mud. You got rain, you got blizzard, you got regular snow, you got fog, clear, cloudy, wow, clear. Clear? Does anyone see any clear? Actual clear? That's white, but is that a clear blizzard? You tell me, folks. Some of these are like partially clear and partially rainy, warm. Well, wait a minute. Temperature versus atmospheric condition. No. So the white just means no symbol. So this is actually saying it's warm and clear with on the ground, shallow mud. Now, why that is a mix of clear and blizzard. This to me seems like this was a misprint. So we'll have to find out about that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Oh my goodness, there's so much. Okay. I was gonna say there is an insert. There's a hollow space here. Ooh, there's the counters. Look how deep that is. So there's the counters that only fill up like about a third of that depth. And so if you, I don't know if you get the tray, you can obviously take the insert out, or you could get a tray of that side, a couple of them there. But with this many counter sheets, I'm assuming these are counter sheets. I know they're counter sheets because I saw Aardwolf's unboxing. So where is my little stabby? My stabby tweezers. These are tweezers you have to be careful with because they're very pokey. These are not picking up counter tweezers. All right. So off goes the protective wrap. Off goes the thin little cardboard inside-outside protector. And of course, one of the complaints was, I'm going to tilt this down a little bit and sort of lean them like that. Let's try to actually zoom in again. You can see side nibs. So the question is, you know, if you're skilled with an X-Acto knife, it's good, and cut these out carefully. These are somewhat thin counters, not super thin. So you've got some reflection to them. They're a little bit gloss, but not too glossy. 2, 3, 4, 5. Many markers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11, 12 counter sheets. I believe it said on the back of the box. I am wrong. I believe it said in the rules. I'm sure it says somewhere in the rules. That 12 sheets of 200 counters. All right, so we've got, again, mostly look like it's a NATO symbol, motorized little wheels. You got your anti-tank, and you got your machine gunners and your engineers. I am not. Oh wait, is that like a separate, like a rocket? A rocket? Is like rocket batteries or standard artillery? They use. You're not seeing that down here. Silhouettes for the armor instead of the. Well, here's some standard armor symbol. Okay, there's your standard anti-tank. So what was the upside down? I mean, okay, it's the dots for artillery. It's motorized, but it's an inverted V. So you guys tell me. I do not remember that symbol. God, boy. Tons and tons of engineers. A bunch of infantry. Artillery, more tanks. We got various entrenchments. So yeah, What is the difference between these entrenchment symbols, and I need to tip this up a little bit. This kind of like a prepared position. This appears to be directional for cannon or howitzer or whatever. This is another kind of prepared, improved position. These look like some kind of pontoon bridges, airfields. These could be direction of attack or retreats. This could be showing like column movement, keeping track of road movement, column movement. There's a whole bunch of those. Now, it's the same kind of arrow as this one, but like going over a bridge. It's like a choke point in the bridge. I don't know. That could be a railhead. It could be something for the road movement mode. It could be something for like temporary roads. Like building up during the mud, right? You would potentially try to repair or quote unquote repair, like use logs or planks or some kind of fill to try to make certain areas a little better, easier to maneuver in when you've got a sea of mud. So I don't know. That's all conjecture. It's interesting. Some of these have some color. Most of them are very consistently the same color within the... I don't know if the color represents... it's mostly engineers. Here's some heavier brown. I mean, it's not a heavy, it's a light brown, but compared to these other units that don't have a colored in background. I don't know. That'll be interesting to find out. All right, so that was all the counters. I always double check, make sure there's nothing hiding underneath. The other day I did an unboxing, and one of the components was missing, and it had actually come loose and had actually gotten down behind the game's insert. And so, all right. So this is a lot of game, a lot of game. Now, does any of these charts come out of that interior? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Nope, I don't think any of them are that small. So I'm gonna keep that for now to help protect those. So I guess it's basically, whoa, no, I didn't get that back in flat. Why is that? Were those not at the same level? You tell me, guys, what's going on there? Is that bend keeping it from lying flat? Huh. Yeah, it was wanting to come up. No. All right. So some of these things are not 100% square. So, getting it back in the box. All right. I like those situational maps. I'll definitely need to find my original maps. We can do some comparison. I'm liking the color, the gloss of these rule books. In here, let's zoom out some more. Definitely wish, there's all sorts of examples. There's example in text, note, example, note, optional, blah, blah. There's extra information and explanation. Examples, but it's all textual. So we will see what may come out of that, if there's going to be people creating additional plaids or examples with graphics or not. Often the player community comes out and does all sorts of extra goodies. That's always cool. All right, so is it? Nope, got to go this way. So I'm going to alternate these so it's going to fit. Now, back to, okay, here. B. Okay, there we are. So there. See that right there? Cherkasy crossing at the Dnieper. And so Korsun is actually somewhere down this way. I think it was near a airfield. It may be over on map A. Smella. Hey, what you smella? Now that's an interesting town. That is very interesting. All right, so I found Cherkasy. We're going to try and make a stab at map A. Also is that. There we go. Map A. This has got to be map A. Yes, this is the first one we looked at. Konev up there. And so somewhere here-ish, if I remember, town near Harrell, near airfield. Now, these don't appear to have any printed airfields on them. Oh, there's one. Korsun, there it is. Okay, it was, yeah, so from Cherkasy that way, straight south from Konev, near the airfield, Korsun. So that is the namesake of the game, the Korsun Pocket. All right, folks, I think we're going to call it quit there. It's over 32 minutes. It's infamous for having long, meandering unboxings, my playthrough. So go watch my Britannia playthrough if you want some long and meandering. It's great stuff, but yeah, it's long and meandering. So, will I get this to the table this year? I'm going to try to get a scenario to the table before the end of the year, but will actually play for extensive periods? No, that's not in the time schedule for this year, but hopefully next year. And got to remember these. There we go. Oh yes, one die. Just tuck it on in. And don't forget, folks, don't use rubber bands on your boxes. Go out and get yourself some plastic bands. You can find them on Amazon. A brand called Conserve. They're good because they don't dry out, they don't leave a residue, they don't do all those things. So anyway, Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness. Gonna sign off. So to all you good folks out there, take care and ciao.